Welcome back, everybody. Today we're talking turkey, Texas style. I'm going to love this one.
Welcome to Smokin' Ass Barbecue.
Okay, we've got our little turkey all rinsed off. We're just going to pat him dry. Now, this is a bone-in turkey breast. It's about 7 pounds. Now, you may or may not find a bone-in one. If you don't, that's fine. Just get the boneless. But if you get a boneless, generally they'll have a net around the turkey to hold it all together. Leave that net on. It will mess up your rub a tiny bit when you get through cooking it, but it's much better because it will flop out everywhere if you take that netting off. So keep in mind now, this is not your Thanksgiving turkey. This is Texas style. This is not holiday turkey. This is everyday turkey. Now, everybody knows that in Texas, the Texas Trinity is brisket, ribs, and sausage. But what a lot of people don't realize is that every barbecue joint you go in will have turkey on the menu. And a lot of people even judge the restaurant by how well they smoke their turkey. So it's a very popular item in Texas. Now, don't cringe. I know some of you are going to say, "What are you doing?" But we are going to get rid of the skin. That's the first thing. We don't want that in our way. And just going to get all of that off. I'm going to try to. I'm not particularly worried about any of the silver skin or anything. That's not really going to create any problem. Now, if you wanted to at this point, you could take this on out and you could spatchcock this. You could take the rest of that backbone out and flatten it out if you wanted to. I don't particularly like doing that. I try to cook it whole. I think it just makes a better presentation, and I don't know, it just makes it look more like a turkey, I think. But ever how you prefer to do it, by all means, you go right ahead. Now, I've already mixed up my rub for this, and the Texas style turkey stays uh, right in line with most everything else in Texas. It's kind of a pepper forward. A lot of stuff is just basically salt and pepper. We keep it very simple out here. We like a good, bold, savory flavor. Now, you'll find basically two different types of turkey rub. You'll find it with just salt and pepper, and in some places we'll use salt, pepper, and garlic. If you like garlic, if you fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I prefer the garlic mix, and so that's what I'm going to use on here. And I'll list the ingredients up above for what I used on my rub. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to give this a good little spray down of olive oil. If you don't have a spray, you can just rub some on. This will work as a binder. And if y'all saw our baby back rib video, you might remember me talking about the oil serves two purposes. And the turkey is a lot like the baby back ribs and pork loin. Very easy to dry out. So we want to try and take every precaution we can to keep it from drying out during the smoking process. The oil will not only work as a binder, but it also forms a film over it, an oily film that kind of help prevent the moisture from being able to pass through and evaporate out. So it'll help a little bit with just keeping our moisture uh, inside our turkey breast. We'll get that little piece right there off. And that's all we're going to do right there. And then we're going to take our rub. I want to get some down inside. We want to season it from the inside out as best we can. Now, something else I mentioned here is a lot of people will put aromatics like onions and different herbs and stuff, rosemary, that kind of stuff inside here. Some people put potatoes and onions, all kind of things. I'm not opposed to doing that, but one thing you definitely do not ever want to do when you're smoking a turkey, whether it's a whole turkey or a turkey breast, is use stuffing in here. By the time that stuffing gets done, your turkey is way, way overcooked. And if you just cook your turkey until it's done, the stuffing is raw down in the center. There's just no way you can get it done, and you're going to wind up with some sick people on your hands. Now, if you want to put some aromatics in here or something, that's perfectly fine, whatever you prefer. I don't like filling this up completely because I want the smoke to be able to get in on the inside and also the heat to get on the inside. So this can actually cook from the inside out. And this will make for a quicker, more even cook. And there again, less chance of drying it out. Now, like I say, this Texas rub, it's a very pepper forward rub. But keep in mind, when this is sliced up, you're only going to have this around the outer edges. So it's not like you're going to be eating tablespoons of this rub. But we want to get a nice little even coat on here. We will probably lose a little bit of it in the process. And that is just about all there is to it. That is it. This is one of the most simple cooks you'll ever do. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do this tomorrow, and you don't have to do it the next day. If you're going to do it the same day, just I would let the rub sit on there for half hour to an hour or something like that, just so it sets a little bit and has time to kind of soak in. And then you can put it right on the smoker. I'm just going to do mine tomorrow for time's sake and so forth, and doing the filming and all. So I'm just going to wrap this up in the foil, put it in the fridge, and I will see y'all outside in the morning. Okay, we are out at the pergola, and we're ready to get our little turkey breast underway here. It's Friday the 13th, so I hope that's no indication of how our cook's going to go today. It's about the middle of September, and it's just past noon now, and it's 97 degrees, so we're probably in for a warm afternoon. But fortunately, we won't have to be out here a lot. We're going to be using the Masterbuilt 40-inch electric, and we're going to be running apple wood for our smoke, and we're going to be running at 275 all the way through the cook. That's another thing. If you remember yesterday, we talked about taking every little step we could to keep our turkey from drying out. by using the oil on the outside and so forth. Running at 275, that'll give us plenty of time to get a lot of smoke on there, all the smoke we want. And at the same time, it'll prevent it from being in the smoker for hours and hours and hours and drying out our meat. So we're going to get this in the smoker, get our thermometer hooked up, and we'll be back in just a minute. Alrighty, we've got our little turkey in the smoker. And as you can see, I've got our temperature probe in so we can keep an eye on the temperature. You probably can't tell in the video, but I did put water down here in the water pan. Again, one more thing to help ensure that we don't dry our turkey out. So we're going to do everything we can. I'm going to get some wood chips in here and get this thing smoking. And we will check back in about an hour or so and just make sure everything's going okay. So we'll see you then. Okay, it has been exactly 1 hour since we put our little turkey in, and our remote thermometer is showing about 140. Which is right about where we want to pull it out and wrap it. I want to check here with, 127. So we're 136, 133, and we get one more over here. 141. So it's reading pretty accurate, and we are sitting good. We want to wrap it somewhere right around 130 to 140, right in that range, and get it wrapped up. It still looks good on the outside, but if it stays in much longer, there's going to be a few places here that are going to start getting a little leathery, and we don't want that. So I'm going to go gather up a couple things, and I'll be right back, and we'll get this little puppy wrapped up. One of my favorite little pets. This is G-Girl. She came out here with me to smoke this turkey and get her a bite of food. Okay, we have got our turkey breast out of the smoker, and as you can see, it is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the color is beautiful on it. We don't need a bit more of that. We're going to get this wrapped up, and of course, the wind would decide to pick up right when I get the foil out. That's always normal around here. So we're going to get this on the foil, and we're going to make it very quick and very simple. We're going to place this on our foil with the breast side down. Hopefully he will balance there for a moment. And what I want to do is make a little bit of a boat here. Not too much. That is absolutely beautiful. You couldn't ask for anything prettier than that at all. Now, as y'all know, I don't really like putting anything cold on my meat to cool it down before we go back in the smoker. So what I've done, I've melted some butter. I've got 2 sticks of butter here, and I don't know that I'm going to use quite all of it, but I'm going to use a lot of it. We want to wet this thing down good, inside, outside, all around. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I'm going to use all of it. What the hell? Okay. Now all we're going to do is pull our ends up here and get him right back up. Just like so. Tuck him in nice and pretty. And we're going to get him right back in the smoker now, put our probe back in, and we're going to let it go to about 160 to 162, somewhere right in that range. We want to really watch the temperature here. We want to make sure we end up at 165 throughout that breast because that's our safe temperature. But we're going to pull it probably around 162, something like that. We don't want to go too far over and take a chance on drying it out again. So I'm going to get this back in, get things set, and we'll keep an eye on it from up at the house, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, we got our turkey out of the smoker. It was in there right at 3 hours, which is not bad for a 7-pound turkey breast. What I did, we let it get up to 163, and then I just turned the smoker off and left it in there to let it cool down and rest for a little bit. It actually got up to 166 internal temperature, so we're all good safe-wise and food-wise and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to take this inside in the air conditioning, and we will continue in a moment. We have had a absolutely gorgeous day outside, just beautiful. Got up to about 97, so it was a little warm, but it was absolutely a gorgeous day. Everything went right according to plan. So it is time to unveil our little turkey breast. Oh, Lordy. He is so pretty. Just look at that. All right, let's get him out here. He is still quite hot. There's a lot of juices and butter and all inside, so we're going to get a little bit of that out. And let's get him up here on our cutting board. Now, these juices in here are very valuable. We're going to use those later to moisten our turkey with, and we're also going to use a little bit of it in our gravy. I made some homemade mashed potatoes to go with this. So we're going to make us up some gravy using that turkey stock and butter. It's going to be out of this world. So let's see what we have here. This is just absolutely gorgeous. So what we're going to do, oh boy, it is hot. That is a hot little rascal. So we're just going to come in here right next to that breastbone, and we're just going to try and follow it right on down. There's a wishbone back there in the back that we've got to get around. Boy, it's hot. I didn't think it'd be quite this hot, but it is. Well, we're just going to make a quick little cut of this. Woohoo! And look at that. I mean, that is just gorgeous. Yikes. That is just gorgeous. I want to get these off because I'd like to show you 2 different ways to cut this. Man. Yaha! I think we should have waited maybe a couple more minutes. All right, now that will be picked clean later. Wow. Wow. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm telling you, that is just absolutely... I don't know why turkey got the reputation of being holiday only. I understand that it's a great holiday meal, but really, this is something you should think about a couple times a month. I mean, this is just absolutely delicious. If you could smell it right now, it would drive you totally insane. Now, there's a couple different ways we can carve this. The grain on these breasts run this way. And so preferably, we want to cut against the grain like we always do on any meat. So the grain running this way, a lot of times what you'll see is slices like this, about a 1/2 inch thick or so. Just something like that. Right on up. I'll slide that over out of the way. We would just continue that on up. Now, the other way that we would want to do this, if you're into sandwich, just like my wife is, that's her favorite thing. That's all she cares about is the fresh loaf of bread, some mayonnaise, and turkey breast. So if you're going to do that, what you want to do is just come in lengthwise and start making you some thin cuts, just about a 1/4 inch thick or so, if that. You want to keep it really thin for sandwiches. So probably less than a 1/4 inch thick would be ideal. And we're just going to continue to cut this whole thing right on down lengthwise, just like so. And you can see the moisture in that is hot. But it's very moist. I don't know if we can, yeah, you can see, maybe I can't hold it. It's still steaming hot. But we're just going to continue to slice this on up just like so to make sandwiches with, or you can serve it on a plate like this if you prefer. That's traditionally how most holiday turkeys are served, or sliced up like this. Most of the time in the barbecue joints around Texas, you'll see it sliced quite often like this, more in chunks than it is in slices. So that's how we get the turkey breast off. That's how we slice it up. And so I'm going to get some gravy made up here out of my drippings, and we'll fix us up a plate, and we'll be back in just a little bit. And there you have it. A delicious Texas-style turkey dinner you'll be proud to serve any day of the week. So y'all give this a try, because I guarantee you'll like it.
Thanks for stopping by. See y'all soon.